I better hold up the case of this. I think Mr. Finnegan has been asked every question possible to be asked that I was going to ask on me, but it's still, because it's so serious, I still want to add a few comments and a few questions on it. Yeah. And you know, I've started saying I accept your case or business case in a business sense. You know, it's kind of half a businessman myself. I think you did the right thing by actually purchasing the machine. And there's no question about that. Yeah. And the public, you say, in general, will accept. There were two old printers, or four, whatever you had, and they were coming of age, or they had to be decommissioned, and you bought a new machine. And I think everyone accepts that and the reasons. Just first of all, are there any recovery costs of the old machines when you cost in anywhere there? When you do get the new machine up running, are there any monies to be recovered from the old machines?
As part of the contract, we traded in the old machine, so we received €40,000 a trade-in off the new machine. The new machine, I think, was $848, and that's ex-VAT, and we got 40 for the new, so 808.
Is that for the two machines we have, or the existing?
The two machines that we traded in, yeah, we traded in the two, and my understanding was the value was 40,000. In total. Okay.
Now, I just want to move in a general comment. You know, for some reason, this case has caught the public imagination out there. I don't know why. It's probably because the hospital, the Children's Hospital, the broadband, and there's a general feeling out there in the public. And this is just a general feeling I'm getting as a politician. Politicians, civil servants, public servants are paying with taxpayers' money, and they don't take accountability, and that's the general feeling out there. And this is another comedy of errors that is happening, whether it's in Dublin or wherever it is, and people are very angry over this. They're angry that we have housing crisis, we have trolley crisis, we have health crisis, and they see this happening. What they feel is a waste of money, and I'm getting myself at meetings down in my own areas, and they see this as a waste of money and no accountability. And I, for one, don't want anyone's head to roll. But there have to be lessons learned, and they have responsibilities for it. I mean, you named out a litany of people there today, and different bodies that are involved in this in the last 2 years, you could say. And yet, this thing happened again. And someone did grab on. I know you've said architectural. We should have someone in from the architectural advice. And that was a mistake by someone. They weren't brought in the beginning. That had to be brought in the future. And the questions I'd like to ask to the public out there: how much do you feel could have been saved if I had got in an architect in the beginning? You know, we're given different numbers. We're given 1.169 million, then we're given 1.369 million, then we went to 2 million, and then when the Board of Works or OPW are involved as well, it goes to 2.5 million. And people look at the 1.1369 million in the beginning, and now it's gone to 2.5 million. That's what they see. And they see, how can you stand over this kind of an increase with all the different things that went wrong? And can you show where we could have saved that money only for, we say, the mistakes that are made?
I suppose maybe just before dealing with that directly, if I could just comment on just your opening remarks. Look, I understand the public anger over this. Look, it's a matter of deep personal regret that this happened. I suppose as the head of this organisation, you talk about accountability. I'm here today to answer every question that I can answer. I've tried to help in every way possible in terms of preparing reports and to be transparent about this process. But I do understand the public anger out there. I genuinely do. I've heard it myself, and it is an awful lot of money. And I suppose there's a perception that kind of this project, and it's correct, it wasn't well managed as a project, and nobody can deny that. Just in terms of kind of what would have happened had this project, I suppose, run according to plan. Let's kind of make the assumption, if I may, that the Camori printing press is the correct machine. I have no evidence whatsoever, Chairman, that it's not. Okay, so if I could just make that assumption. An architect would have been brought in on day one. The architect would have advised the project team that a machine of the type that they were purchasing would require significant architectural works. I think the cost of those works would have been very, very similar to the costs that they turned out. I think that ultimately the big costs, I suppose, that we would not have incurred the level of outsourcing. We would not have incurred the storage costs.
Have we costs on all that?
I have them in the report, Deputy.
Could we get a report on those costs? At least
it's in the report.
It's in it already.
It's in the report. Yeah. So
I should know.
12. Yeah. They are the actual costs that I think we kind of incurred where we should not have incurred them. And like 112,000 is an awful lot of money. It really is. And like I understand why people would be very, very annoyed over that. And look, I've worked through this myself over the last 3 weeks, and I've been very annoyed over it myself. I've worked through all of this process. But I suppose ultimately when you look at this in the round, when you go back to 2004, when you see the costs that were incurred in 2004 and the costs that were incurred here, they're not dramatically out of line. And I suppose what you have to accept too is that, like, if you're purchasing equipment, and let's say that the cost of the equipment, which I think came in, is 1.8 million. If you kind of take out the outsourcing and the storage, just say you're around at 1.7, that's for me a 15-year investment. 1.7 million over 15 years. And it's like, if you do the sums, it's somewhere of the order of kind of 100,000 per year for printing. And I think that's probably a reasonable sum. It's 2,000 per week if you look at kind of what the cost would be if you were to outsource. So let's suppose the Oireachtas just did not do printing at all, and that members, who have legitimate needs, and that's one of the other things that's come out of it. Like, there's legitimate printing needs in terms of communicating with your constituents, and that's an essential and a fundamental role of public representatives, and it's something that we try to support members in doing. But if members were to basically communicate with their constituents via an outsourced model, I think it would be substantially more. I think, in the same way, if you do the analysis for leasing versus buying, if you do a further analysis then and say, well, instead of doing anything, if you just outsource, I suspect that would be the most expensive option of all.
That's acceptable. No, I mean, some of our my colleagues here today, made statements like shopping sprees, as if you're one off spending money. I mean, I don't accept that either. I mean, I agree, and I wouldn't want to be associated with saying you're on a shopping spree as if you're going out buying for Santa Claus or something like that kind of thing. That's just a remark that I would be agreeing with. But I think what we need here to bring back into the whole system here, and including us politicians, is confidence that the public have confidence in us to handle public money and handle it right, and taxpayers' money, and spend it accordingly and spend it rightly. And that's our job here as in PAC, is to follow the money and to make sure everyone is accountable for what money they spend, and that it's not being wasted anywhere. I think that's the most important thing, and that's why I agree with the chairman. Even your remark today, you came across bad. Your remarks today.
Okay, and, my apologies.
You came across as if we didn't ask the right questions the last year in front of you.
No, I certainly didn't mean it to come across that way, and I apologise if it did come across, Chairman.
We have an old saying down in our country: "See no evil, hear no evil." That kind of thing. That's because we didn't ask the right questions, we didn't get the right answers. I wouldn't like that kind of thing either. No, the last thing I'm going to ask, Chairman, is just okay. We have our costs here now, but you still talk about storage. You're talking about training. You said to yourself you're going to have training. I'm sure you have health and safety issues, and I know you have union now. Maybe extra pay or extra monies for handling this machine. So is all the costs finished with yet, or could there be more costs than the 2.5 million we're talking about? When all this is seen through, like the machine might be up and running as soon as you think. You might further storage costs. What are the storage costs since 2018?
No, the storage costs are gone. Actually, like, the machine is now installed. We were paying 2,000 per month, but that ended.
That's finished.
The machine was delivered and
that's finished. That's gone.
It is. Yeah. I suppose the big,
training. What's the cost? Do you think? Imagine training cost.
The training is included in the price of the machine as part of the package. I suppose the essential thing for us now is to get this machine up and running as quickly as we can, to work with the staff in the print unit collaboratively to address the concerns around health and safety, and to move forward with the implementation of this machine.
Could there be problems with, say, if unions are demanding extra monies for this, could there be problems down the line there?
There could, yeah. If
that's labour.
No, just to be honest, that there could be if people took that approach. But I would hope that that would not happen. That, you know, we good relationship with people. At the end of the day, these people are our employees. We have a concern, obviously, for our employees, and we would be aiming to work with them to ensure that this machine is operational as soon as possible.
Okay, I just saw the thank Mr. Finning come in here today. He got a tough, you know, that's twice that's been in front of us now. So,
thanks. Yeah.
But I mean, we need to clarify all these things, and the
yeah.
public need to be assured that we're doing the right thing.
Thank you, Chairman.